Coming up on What's New, we have the latest headlines and numbers regarding the coronavirus. We're also going to be talking to the Cuyahoga County Health Commissioner live here in the studio to answer your questions.
The Ohio primary is a week from tonight. It was supposed to be competing rallies in Cleveland tonight with Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, but within the last 45 minutes, both campaigns have canceled those rallies. And a principal in Louisiana is demanding students send pictures of themselves in the prom dress they plan to wear before they buy it. We're asking for your thoughts on that.
Plus, we have your opportunity to win a night at Gervasi Vineyards in Canton. What's New starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New with Betsy Kling and Jay Crawford.
Well, as we expected to be, it is a very busy Tuesday here in the 3 News arena. Our newsroom is buzzing right now, and of course, it's time to get What's New going. It is 5 o'clock. I'm Betsy Kling with Jay Crawford, and we have some new breaking news to tell you about. Both Democratic presidential hopefuls Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders have canceled their rallies in downtown Cleveland tonight.
Yeah, we'll have more on that story in just a minute. But first, more breaking news. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is recommending some drastic and sweeping changes to prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
That's right. The governor is recommending that all Ohio colleges and universities suspend in-person classes and go to online only. Ohio State, John Carroll, Kent State, Akron U, Case Western Reserve have already followed the governor's recommendations. You can find out more about each individual university on their websites. But Ohio State suspended in-class learning yesterday, and the others have been following suit. The governor is also recommending indoor sporting events at all levels, high school, college, professional, go without spectators, and we'll have some more on that coming up in just a minute.
Yeah, that's a big step because it doesn't affect the Cavs immediately because they just start a 6-game road trip tonight. But you have the MAC basketball tournament resuming in Cleveland beginning Thursday. Also, Cleveland is set to host the first and second round games of the NCAA tournament next weekend. That was expected to bring $8 million directly into the Cleveland economy. No word yet as to whether or not the NCAA and the MAC tournament will follow the governor's recommendations. But we have 3 News health correspondent Monica Robbins with us now to talk more about this. Monica, other states have not taken these drastic measures. Ohio is the first in the country. There are 3 cases, at least that we know of as of late this afternoon. Are other officials that you're talking to falling in line with the governor's recommendations?
Okay, other states may not have, but remember, Santa Clara County just did.
Right. Statewide, though, not yet.
Right, correct. But they just canceled mass gatherings of more than 1,000 people because of what's going on there. And I just got off the phone with some people at the Board of Health and also with some physicians. And what they're telling me, first of all, if it were to happen in Cleveland, the people who have to make that decision right now is the city health department. Right. So Merle Gordon and also the people in the mayor's office and everybody else. That's who's going to make those decisions relating to anything that's happening with the Cavs or Cleveland Indians or anybody else. Right. And they're going to, work in concert, of course, with the state Ohio Department of Health, and they're also going to work in concert with the CDC and go by those recommendations. Now, remember, this is an evolving situation. Right. It is constantly changing. What's happening around the world is being watched, and we don't know what's going to happen as it progresses. We know that this is, a situation that is, I told you yesterday, we're going to see more cases. Sure. We know we're going to see more cases. And if we want to prevent a virus, the best way to do that is containment. So whether or not this is a good idea remains to be seen, but containment is one of the best ways to prevent that. It's just going to be a determining factor of what do the experts think? Right. And that's who everyone is going to have to listen to.
Well, and this is where the universities have stepped in and said, all right, no in-person classes. We're going to go to remote and online. But a lot of parents of little kids, K through 12, are going, wait a minute, what about my kid? Right. I know some schools are already starting to put plans in place to kind of set them up for later decisions.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. A lot of districts are already getting the plans in place. And some agencies that actually do the online classes are actually defraying some of those costs, too. And I think one of the other things we have to remember is that, children weren't really affected as badly by this virus.
Right.
It's older people that are typically affected by this virus. So that's one thing. But also, when you think of college kids, they're living together. They're, viruses tend to spread more likely in dorm environments.
That's true.
And kids are
and you can't separate them from one another.
Exactly. So, that's a different situation as well. I mean, yeah, kids are, petri dishes in schools too. But at the same time, that's something a little different when you're dealing with dorms. And I think I would not be surprised to see some schools, when cases start popping up, to see some schools following suit.
All right, very good. Monica, thanks. I know you're working on a story for 6 o'clock. What matters most?
Yep.
We'll see you then.
All right.
Okay, now on to your feed at 5. And first up there, as we mentioned off the top, Democratic presidential hopefuls Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden had rallies planned for Cleveland tonight. Those rallies have been canceled. This just a week ahead of Ohio's primaries. 3 News reporter Mark Namick is at the convention center. That's where the Sanders rally was to take place. Mark, what more can you tell us?
Hi, Jay and Betsy. I am at the Huntington Convention Center, and this was canceled about 45 minutes ago. I will say, supporters shouldn't be too surprised. Both candidates have been saying they're going to take the advice of the experts, and as we've seen today across Ohio, from the governor on down, they've been recommending against large gatherings, so that has happened here. The bigger news for both candidates really will be what happens today in Michigan, which is a really important primary. It's considered really the Midwest bellwether. And the supporters that showed up today were very disappointed. Here's what they had to say.
I got out of class, drove 2.5 hours straight here. So I'm upset, but hopefully there's another opportunity.
I voted early for Bernie, and I've been canvassing, making calls, and I've been a Sanders supporter since 2016, even before I could vote. So, I'm just volunteering in my own community, knocking on doors, and just talking to my own friends, getting out the word.
There's still a lot of volunteers and even a couple dozen supporters around the convention center, and they have not started to take down the setup yet. So I'm not sure what they're planning to do and whether we're going to see Bernie Sanders make an appearance in Cleveland at all. We've reached out to the regional press secretary, who's on the ground not far from us. We haven't heard anything, but with 136 delegates up for grabs a week from tonight, no doubt we're going to hear from both candidates before then. Back to you guys.
They were really working to set them up for next week, and at the same time, they've kind of taken a little bit of time away from Michigan, which is where all their focus is right now for tonight. All right, Mark.
Yeah, and Michigan will set the tone. Thank you.
Definitely.
Michigan's
Appreciate
interesting.
that.
Last year, Sanders trailed before the primary there by 20 points, ended up pulling off a huge upset of Hillary Clinton. He's hoping the same can happen this year because he is trailing Biden again in Michigan. It's a huge state. Tonight could have a lot to do with who ends up with the nomination. 5 states.
And speaking of Biden, his rally was also canceled tonight, just blocks south of the Huntington Convention Center down at Tri-C. That's where Biden's folks have been set up. Lena Lai is at the campus of Tri-C. And Lena, what more can you add besides just no rally tonight?
Yeah, hey guys. Yeah, we're like literally 2.2 miles away from where Bernie Sanders' campaign was supposed to be happening. Here at the Tri-C Recreation Center on East 30th, you can see crews have started to break down some of the aspects of the stage very slowly, but honestly, a lot of people are still in limbo, including the media. Here on this riser here next to me, you see the local, state, national, even international media is still set up here on the riser. We even met a crew from Japanese television. But yeah, about 20 minutes ago, Biden's campaign communications director tweeted out, in accordance with guidance from public officials and out of an abundance of caution, our rally in Cleveland tonight is canceled. We'll continue to consult with public health officials and public health guidance and make announcements about future events. In the coming days, Vice President Biden thanks all of his supporters who wanted to be with us in Cleveland. Additional details on where Vice President Biden will address the press tonight are forthcoming. So that is where we wait and see, if or when Biden will come and speak to the media. Guys?
Interesting to watch that because at some point the candidates will address their supporters. It may actually be speaking in front of cameras with nobody in attendance to keep the large crowds down. But at some point tonight, both candidates will want to get their message out as to how they did in the 5 primaries nationwide. All right, Lena, thank you very much.
And so,
go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just about to say it's no surprise that both of these candidates wanted to come here to Cleveland, which historically has been heavily Democratic. In fact, the county has voted for the Democratic presidential candidate in every election since 1972. So it's no wonder why Cleveland was going to be the epicenter for the Democratic Party tonight. But now we wait.
And we do. It's a lot of uncertainty. We just don't know.
We'll continue to follow all the stories as they continue to roll out tonight. Thanks so much, Lena. Appreciate it.
All right, that gets you caught up to date on the political story and the coronavirus stories. But there are other stories in the headlines. And for that, we welcome Sarah Schuchman to the news desk. Sarah, hello.
Hi, Jay and Betsy. Yes, and the stock market, I know, also tied back to the coronavirus, but there was a bit of good news for investors today. Wall Street rebounded just a bit, with the Dow Jones up almost 5% by the closing bell. This comes after the Dow had its worst day since 2008 yesterday, tumbling more than 2,000 points over coronavirus concerns. President Donald Trump met with lawmakers today to discuss ways to ease those concerns about the economy in light of the virus outbreak. Crude oil prices today also bounced back. Well, the trial is now underway in Summit County for Stanley Ford. He's the man accused of setting two separate fires that killed 9 people in Akron. Prosecutors say Ford set the first fire on Fulton Street in 2016 that killed 2 people and set a fire the next year that took the lives of 2 parents and their 5 children. Ford lived on that same street, and prosecutors say he set the fires in response to some sort of beef with his neighbors. Ford claims he's innocent. And Dick's Sporting Goods will stop selling guns in most of its stores this year. In an earnings report out today, the company said it's eliminating the hunting department where it sells its guns at 440 stores. Now, that's in addition to more than 100 stores where it has already pulled firearms, more than about half of its locations. Now, it is not clear yet if any of those locations here in Northeast Ohio will be among that 440. We'll keep an eye out for that.
It's a controversial topic, and I know a lot of folks have been talking about it. We'll continue to follow it. Thanks so much, Sarah. Appreciate it. Well, another controversial topic that's very interesting. Have you heard about this yet? The story out of Louisiana. It's getting a lot of people talking about it. A high school principal sent a text message to students letting them know that she will have final say about their prom dresses. The message tells girls not to buy anything sheer or revealing in any manner. She is also requiring, and this is a big part, that the students send a picture of the teen in the outfit with their name and grade for approval to purchase. This also goes for students who are bringing dates from other schools.
All right, we've been asking you this question all day long on our website, and you can see it's up there now, wkyc.com/vote now. 45% of you say yes, that the school should be involved in prom dress approval. The majority of you, a slight majority, 55%, say no. I'm kind of split on this, too.
I am, too.
And I don't know which way to go. So I was hoping
too.
that you could convince me. On one hand, I think it's awfully heavy-handed. On the other hand, I have seen some of these young girls and the prom dresses they wear. And, you know, the definition is of inappropriate is I know it when I see it. So there is no standard, but some of these prom dresses, Betsy,
they're
you
a
can
little
look at
over
and
the
say,
top.
no, I wouldn't want my daughter in that. I wouldn't want anybody attending my daughter's prom in that.
And I think the thing is that they're trying to get ahead of the purchase.
Sure.
And I can understand that, and kudos for that. But don't tell me what I am and am not going to buy for my child.
Yeah.
The other part of it is you can't, you know, police taste. Some people have great taste. Some people don't have great taste. Some people like a beige room. Some people like gray. Who are you to say? But when you're the principal of the school and it's your job to keep everybody in line, now that's where things
wouldn't want
get a
that
little
job
topsy-turvy.
because you know there's going to be a lot of close calls. As to your point, they can't tell you what to buy. True.
And this is what she's saying.
But they can tell you can buy it. You're free to buy it. You just can't get into the prom if you're wearing it. So buy it and wear it to dinner. But not to the prom. It's interesting. It's very controversial.
Good talker.
For
if you have teenage daughters or teenage sons, it might be an interesting dinner conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Still to come on What's New, some easy, affordable ideas ideas to make your lunch awesome next time you pack.
Ooh, everybody wants that. Stephanie, what's clicking in Cleveland? I imagine folks are very chatty today.
They are. We get to learn more about this incredible 19-year-old piano player from Warren, Ohio, who, by
Love
the
this
way,
story.
only has 4 fingers. So we'll talk about that. And also, we're going to take a look at reactions to Governor DeWine's recommendations to contain the coronavirus.
All right, we'll be right back. It is National Pack Your Lunch Day. So if you already have gone through your day and you didn't know that, sorry. But hey, better luck tomorrow, because we are going to show you some easy ideas that go beyond the old bologna sandwich.
Yeah, we have with us chef and caterer April Thompson from Wild Times Personal Chef Service. April, best, easiest, cheapest.
Okay.
All right, you got 3 ideas for us. What do we do?
So our best is going to be this Mediterranean vegetable. All of the vegetables are raw. We have tomatoes, Kalamata olives, zucchini, squash, garlic, feta cheese, oregano, salt and pepper, olive oil, and lemon juice. The cheap part of this is that we're going to add some rotisserie chicken, just your basic grocery store rotisserie chicken, because a lot of people don't have time to cook a chicken. And then the easy is going to be our dessert.
Oh, okay, great.
But I also wanted to show you a couple ways to have this. You can have the vegetables alone. Of course, we can add the chicken. It's so delicious. But we can also make a salad out of this. How about that?
Okay, so
Make
you
it
have
even
just
more
some random greens here.
Just mixed greens.
Green it up.
Yep.
And then you're going to put our little salad, fresh veggie salad on there.
Let's
And
get some
how
of that
much
dressing.
oil versus how much lemon juice? Is it 1-to-1, or what's your best
For me,
ratio?
I like a little tanginess, so I'll probably have a little more lemon
Little
juice, but I
extra.
think,
Okay.
for flavor. And then you
Perfect.
can use olive oil, avocado oil, all of those healthy fats. But that would be a delicious lunch right there.
Very
And
Put a little more on
rotisserie
top
chicken,
just for the look.
I mean, you can do the leftovers of the rotisserie chicken. We always like get the breast off first, and then there's all this other stuff. That's perfect for this. Get that dark
Exactly.
meat off of there and eat that too.
Exactly.
Cool.
So that's your cheap and your
Easy.
easy.
Boom, done.
This is the good part, right?
This
That's
is
the
so
dessert.
delicious.
Yes. So you want to take dessert so you don't end up at the vending machine.
Right.
Not saying that you would do
Yeah,
that.
I don't know
We
anybody
call it
that
the
does.
wheel of death here.
So I've just made peanut butter and apple nachos, which is a little microwaved peanut butter.
How long
can
do you
use
microwave it?
For about 25 seconds.
So just to soften it up.
And I sliced some apples. I coated them in lemon juice so they stay nice and fresh looking all day. And you literally do it just like cheese.
Deliciousness.
That's
you can do
amazing.
this with any nut butter.
Any nut butter you want.
Which is fantastic.
And what's your topping here?
This is a homemade granola that I made, but use your favorite granola. You can use some chocolate chips, coconut,
blueberries.
Anything you
name
want.
it, you can have
And it's
it.
healthy because it's apples.
You know you're going to like it. It's the best thing you're going to put in your
Best
mouth
thing I eat
today. He says about everything, but every now and then he actually one-ups himself. There you go, see? And it's healthy.
That's right.
And it's the best thing I'll eat today.
See?
I love the peanut butter melty like that. Nice and warm and very good, April.
See?
Sounds good.
Wonderful.
And it's just easy to take with you. Throw an ice pack in the lunch bag, you're ready to roll.
You're ready to go.
I like it.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you
Great.
what. One guy who loves to pack his lunch is our own Matt Wentz. I bet you didn't know that about him. Matt, we have a weather word for you. Jay?
What do you got?
It's feast.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna have a feast over here while you try to fit that into the weather.
I'm glad April said 25 seconds on the peanut butter. I tried 2.5 minutes once. It's a totally different substance when you're done with it.
It's charred by that point.
It's charred. It stinks. You can't get that thing out of that cup. Hey, it's Mario Day today. How about that? Get it? March 10th. March 10th. C spells Mario. So we've got your Mario forecast tonight. 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. We're in the 30s. It's chilly. If any of you have played Mario, that's fun. I hated that level. It always gets you right at the end when you're about to finish. All right, visibility out there has been kind of murky at times. That murky afternoon, remember we turned the winds off the lake. We were talking about it yesterday. We've got visibility that's okay. It's still kind of hazy. We're going to have to watch for a little bit of fog possibility tonight. But the cold air's with us. We went from the 50s down to the upper 30s in the matter of an hour as we were expecting across the lakeshore. We're 40s elsewhere. The further you get away from that lake, the warmer we are. Temperatures still near 50 down in areas of Tuscarawas counties. But look at this. We're in the coldest spot on the map right now. 39 Cleveland. It's warmer up in Minneapolis right now. Bismarck just fell. They're the coldest now. But notice the cold air. Yeah, it's going to be brief. We've already got warmth building off to the west, and that will spark yet another warm up here in the forecast. But we had the rain earlier today along our cold front. We've got some clouds that are lingering. Look at the clearing coming across the lake, though. I do think we clear out for most of us overnight tonight, and that will lead to a pretty chilly night. Should fall back to near 30 degrees. But here's our next weather system. This will arrive tomorrow. Not a lot with this. This is an area of kind of moisture that's going to kind of dry up as we go over the next 24 hours. So perhaps a shower tomorrow afternoon. I think it'll just be an increase of clouds. So overnight tonight, we're dealing with the clearing skies. Tomorrow morning, may need the sunglasses out the door, but the clouds will come back into the forecast. Maybe a spray of a shower or two. Temperatures, though, up into the 40s tomorrow. And then Thursday, that's when we rebound quite nicely in the temperature department, as you'll see here in a second. But overall, over the next couple days, we've got a system to watch over the weekend that could spread some snow across northeast Ohio. That's one that we'll continue to keep an eye on. But in terms of the forecast, feast your eyes on Thursday, everybody, because it's going to be nice and warm once again. Back up in the low 60s on Thursday with a slight chance of showers late, better chance of rain on Friday, and a cool weekend right now. We'll keep an eye on some snow chances, but overall, a pretty seasonable forecast. We'll be back.
right, Stephanie Haney is here now with Clicking in Cleveland. And Steph, I imagine you're seeing plenty of response from the governor's decision to cancel all university classes in person, as well as no spectators for any sporting events indoors, high school, college, even the pros.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. These are definitely significant recommendations that Governor Mike DeWine made today related to the 3 confirmed cases of coronavirus that we do have here. As Jay mentioned, lots of people particularly responding to that athletics recommendation. This is as the Ohio High School Athletic Association has events coming up along with the MAC tournament in Cleveland and the upcoming NCAA tournament. So DeWine says for indoor athletic events at all levels, no spectators other than the parents and those essential to the game. Right now, outdoor events we do expect to continue. This is aimed, of course, at getting ahead of and stopping further spread of the coronavirus in the state of Ohio. Some people saying that this does make sense for older people, and this only makes sense, for older people, and this blanket recommendation is a little bit over the top. Others, however, pointing out that it's important to look beyond ourselves. While a younger person might be just fine getting the coronavirus, many of us have contact with older people, and we need to take that into consideration. So, bottom line, DeWine is taking a very proactive, precautionary approach here, saying that COVID-19 is dangerous. We can't ignore it. We can't wish it away. We have to call it as it is. All right, so along those same lines, there are colleges and universities that are going online for classes, as Jay said. So if you want to keep up to date on those recommendations and those restrictions, make sure you check out wkyc.com/coronavirus for the most up-to-date news on closings and those restrictions. All right, here's a local story that's guaranteed to bring a smile to your face. This is about Darius Simmons. He is a 19-year-old from Warren, Ohio, also happens to be an amazing piano player. But despite the fact that he's only got 3 fingers on his right hand and 1 on his left hand. So he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show today, and he said that he would not change anything about himself.
If I had all 10 fingers in both legs, I would look weird personally to myself. Because I grew up and this is all I've known.
He did have both of his legs amputated shortly after he was born, and he shared on Ellen that his first passion and love was actually football, but he didn't make the team, which is what led him to his love as the piano. And he performed an original composition for Ellen called Dreams Are Forever. Take a listen. After that, he got a check for $20,000. I would say that is not a bad Tuesday for a student of Berklee College of Music in Boston. He is a college student, so that should definitely help with those tuition and fees.
He's so cool. I just love his spirit, and
So
his
incredible.
talent is amazing.
And the composition, original composition,
Right.
it sounded great. No limitations. I
Thank
love
you
that.
so much, Stephanie.
Okay, next at 5:30, we get some answers to some burning questions about the coronavirus here in Northeast Ohio from the head of the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. He joins us live next.
And how Meghan Markle is going out in style as she wraps up her final royal duties and gets ready to start her new life.
And a live look at Gervasi Vineyards, where we'll tell you how the local destination is celebrating a big anniversary. And by the way, how you can win a romantic getaway for 2. That's straight ahead.
How are you? Good.
Now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New with Betsy Kling and Jay Crawford.
And welcome back to What's New. New at 5:30. We want to update you on some breaking news that we started the show with. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine taking the big step of recommending that colleges and universities cancel all in-person learning. Schools, including Case Western, John Carroll, Kent, Akron, have done just that. The governor is also recommending that there are no fans allowed for any indoor sporting events that are either on the high school, collegiate, or professional level. A drastic step. Our governor, the only governor taking that step so far, but he says he's doing it out of an abundance of caution. This is a very deadly disease.
And specifically with the high school sports, we've got boys basketball, girls basketball, ice hockey, and wrestling all getting into state tournaments now. So this is becoming a big deal. And the state was saying, OHSAA is saying that only immediate family members will be allowed for the game. So we're going to have to follow that because that's a fluid situation too. Russ Mitchell's been keeping an eye on everything from the newsroom for us today, and he joins us now at the bottom of the hour with more of your top headlines. Hi there, Russ.
Hey, Betsy. Hello, Jay. Good afternoon to you at home. The Lorain City School District today announced layoffs aimed at cutting administrative jobs. 45 will lose their jobs, including everyone with the title of chief or dean, along with a number of other administrative positions. School CEO Greg Ring says the district faces a significant deficit next school year. As we told you at the top of this broadcast, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders have both canceled their Cleveland rallies tonight because of public health concerns about the coronavirus. The announcement's coming down in basically the last hour. 6 states, including Michigan, are holding primaries tonight. Ohio votes 1 week from today. And Cleveland St. Patrick's Day parade organizers say that next Tuesday's parade is still on. This comes a day after cities like Boston and Dublin, Ireland, canceled their parades. Cleveland is not the only city sticking to its plans. Chicago, another big St. Patrick's Day town, is also holding its big parade. And as you know, in Chicago, they paint, what is that, the Chicago River? They put green dye in it.
Turn it green.
That's right, exactly. Big parade there, so no plans to cancel that or the one here yet.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Russ. Our top talker this half hour, it remains the coronavirus. Developments today. Well, they were many. The governor making the drastic move to cancel or at least recommend that all universities cancel their in-class learning. And we told you about the sporting events and the recommendations that he has made there. To help make sure you have all the facts and not the fear, we turn to the experts.
That's right. So Cuyahoga County Health Commissioner Terry Allen joins us live from the County Board of Health. Terry, you know, there's a lot of people who are on edge about this. There is anxiety over this. We've been waiting and watching for it to come. Yesterday, those first 3 cases were announced. They're all here in Cuyahoga County. How is the Board of Health identifying new cases?
Well, there's a sort of tried and true pathway that public health takes in disease response and identification. We're really like disease detectives. So first, what we do is we want to identify cases out there. We hear about people that have traveled from different places, may be at risk, just like the cases you heard about. We then want to diagnose, that is, have them tested to determine whether or not they indeed have the COVID-19, this new virus. Once we have a diagnosis, we then want to isolate folks that are sick, so they stay away from those that aren't sick, so we don't spread it around. We also may quarantine, that is, people who are not sick yet, but they may have been exposed to that case. We want them to stay home for 14 days so that they don't end up potentially spreading it should they become ill. And then lastly, it's important that we contact trace. We walk around talking to families. We call people that they interacted with. We understand whether they had that close contact. We've been talking about 6 feet in terms of a distance. Extended contact with folks that may be ill is a good way to try to prevent exposure by having them quarantine to assure that they're not spreading it around. So that's the tried and true way we do business: identify, diagnose, and we then isolate and contact trace.
Terry, obviously the governor's decision today to basically recommend that all colleges and universities suspend in-class learning and the sports recommendations that he's made, it's been met with mixed reaction. He's the only governor nationwide to do this. Obviously, California, the state of Washington, New York, far more cases. What's your opinion of the governor's drastic decision to take these steps?
Well, this is isn't the first decision, I should say. You may remember the Arnold event was recently held in Columbus, and there was restrictions on sort of the public gathering components of the Arnold. So I think the governor is following in step with the way that he's been addressing these large gatherings. I think he's trying to show some leadership. A lot of local decisions, as you mentioned, here even in Cleveland, are being thought over and mulled over about public gatherings and presenting risk. We know that seniors and people with chronic diseases like heart disease or like asthma, or people that have limited lung function, or people maybe that are being treated for cancer and their immune systems are suppressed, they're at risk. Look in Seattle with the nursing home cases that have been spreading. This is where the risk is. And so the governor, I think, has decided the best way to lead is to lead by example. And then as locals have to make these individual decisions, which are tough decisions, they're certainly disruptive, that they think about the fact that gatherings can be a way to spread the illness around. And so they're tough decisions. You make them on a case-by-case basis. And in this case, the governor felt it was prudent to move forward with those recommendations.
Well, certainly the contagious aspect of this particular virus is what makes it so threatening. And that's why we're trying to knock back those numbers just to try and slow the contagious spread. So thank you so much for your time, Terry. We really do appreciate it. Best of luck to you guys. I know you guys are getting hammered with questions and all kinds of stuff, too. So stay in touch and stay healthy. That's what we're kind of telling everybody to do.
Will do, and wash your hands like we always tell you for 20 seconds.
Very good. That. Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again pretty soon out of
Sure enough.
Terry was extremely impressive yesterday in the news conference. Had all the right answers, and you do get a sense of confidence and calm when you listen to him, just the way he speaks.
And there's so many people who are saying, I'm not scared of this, blah, blah, blah. That's fine, but if you give it to me and I pass it on to my parents or I pass it on to my kids, I'm not going to be real happy with you.
Yeah, no, it's not a good thing. Okay, let's take a step away from that. Time for our daily pop break. We say hello again to Stephanie Haney. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Jay. All right, you know those final couples that were left standing on Netflix's Love is Blind? Well, they were on the Ellen DeGeneres show today. And after that whole series, plus the reunion special, they still have secrets to reveal. Here's what they had to say about how they ended up on the show in the first place in your pop break.
It's the age-old question, how to find love. And these days, lots of people do it on reality TV. But how do they get there? Giannina Gibelli from Love is Blind told Ellen today that it really does go down in the DMs.
I was at a bar with a group of girlfriends, and I was telling them how there are no men for me in the city, and at that moment, I got a DM on Instagram. And it was this person telling me, hey, you can fall in love and potentially get married, and I was like, this is the universe speaking to me.
And even if you're on a show, according to Giannini's man Damien, we still can't escape dating apps.
Because they actually found me on Tinder, so.
Hey, whatever works, right? Bad news for fans of the popular music festival Coachella. The 2-week desert phenomenon has reportedly been rescheduled to October due to concerns over the coronavirus. The lineup, featuring headliners Rage Against the Machine, Travis Scott, and Frank Ocean, is supposed to stay the same, though. Keeping it on the West Coast, Blue Ivy, daughter of power couple Jay-Z and Beyonce, had stars in her eyes while meeting the kid from Akron, LeBron James, after the Los Angeles Lakers game on Sunday. Thankfully, Dad was right there when she started feeling a little shy. We think James was probably starstruck too, Blue. And Meghan Markle is giving off serious Princess Di vibes. During the Commonwealth Day ceremonies in London, the Duchess of Sussex wore a gorgeous green ensemble that looked a lot like an outfit Princess Diana wore while pregnant with Prince William. The hats alone are spot on. She's really going out in style for what might be her last event as a senior royal.
Wahaha, well played, Meghan Markle.
Question, do you think that she looks happy?
Oh, geez, who am I to say that?
Yeah, no idea. It'd be pure speculation.
Well, it's not pure speculation because Meghan Markle has been wearing a lot of bright colors lately, and she has previously said that she dresses to her mood.
Oh.
So
she must be feeling good
these days. I think she's
all right. Well,
happy.
we hope she's in a good place.
Definitely.
We hope they all are.
Seems like she is.
All right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thanks.
it.
More What's New right after the break.
Well, this is one of those things that you hear about and you go, huh, that's kind of cool. And it's coming up at Cedar Point. Over the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd, the park is offering free admission as part of a special event. From noon till 6 o'clock each day, it's a special offer to celebrate Cedar Point's 150th anniversary season. Now, the admission is free, but you're going to have to pay $20 to ride the rides. Still, $20 to ride the rides. You do have to have a ticket for it. It's a special ticket to get, and we have information about how to reserve your free tickets at wkyc.com/Cedar Point. No, your Gold Pass won't work.
No, I mean you can flash it.
You
if
can
you want.
try.
You know, the interesting thing about this is that I'm glad there are tickets. Otherwise, you'd have traffic jams in and around Sandusky like you did late last summer because they oversold the Gold Pass. So limit those tickets, please.
Right, and who knows what the weather's going to be for sure. But you know, there's a few things in this world that make a bad day better, like wine. I like wine. Wine is delicious. We call it mommy juice in my house. And in Canton, Gervasi Vineyard has been doing wine for a decade.
Yeah, 10 years is cause for celebration, I would say. So Romney Smith hit the road to see how they're celebrating this big milestone. She joins us live now from Canton. And Romney, before you start, I know this is your first time there. What are your impressions? What do you think?
Okay, Jay and Betsy, you're absolutely right. It's my first time here, and when I drove onto the property, I literally felt transformed. I didn't realize I was still in Ohio. Felt like I drove onto an Italian villa. Is that correct?
Absolutely. It's a Tuscan escape right here in Canton, Ohio.
Absolutely beautiful, guys. We're here. We are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Gervasi, and this is a world premiere. For the first time ever, you guys are now seeing some of these special wines they have. So exclusive, guys. Here we go. These two beautiful bottles have a special label now because we are celebrating the anniversary, correct?
Right, it's our diamond anniversary, so we have a special diamond pewter shaped label on the bottle. So this is a commemorative set you can buy individually or in a box.
And guys, here's a really special thing. We're talking about 10 years, and this particular blend has literally taken 10 years to make. So explain to me, how did you guys make this?
So this Solera is the process of basically taking multiple vintages, multiple varieties, a little bit each year, and blending it into a common tank or a barrel, and you keep evolving it. So over 10 years, this has 10 different varietals. It's really, really unique, and the first time we've ever bottled it.
And it's limited. There are less than 300 bottles,
That's
correct?
Right. That's right.
Special event to try it.
Yeah, so we have a special event on March 22nd. A tasting event will be the first people to be able to taste it and also buy it. Might sell out that night, I don't know, we'll see.
Now here's something else. I want to let you guys know, if you want to taste these wines and you want a romantic giveaway, we're actually giving one away right now. Get your phones out. You ready for this? 216-578-0707. If you are the third caller, you're going to win one overnight stay for two people, and you can stay in a luxury suite at either the Villas Gervasi or the new Casa Hotel, right?
Yeah, the Casa is the brand new hotel that just opened in May.
Guys,
really
you can try all these wines, and we also have these two. Tell me about those quickly.
Yeah, it's all about winery, all about wine here at the Vineyard. We have two brand new wines that will be available on the 17th.
So you literally have two wines. You've got a special blend that you have not tasted before. It's about to premiere. And then these beautiful bottles with a special label for you guys. There's a lot more we couldn't get to. So I have the very tough assignment of drinking some of this wine, Jay and Betsy. So I need to get to work so that I can report back later.
Okay, you enjoy that. Romney's just back from her honeymoon.
Right.
So
Thanks,
she's kind of in that mode. Betsy, I don't think you're eligible to win.
I didn't get through anyway.
No, you won't.
Listen.
But even if you did, you can't win. It's busy. Yeah.
I'm sad.
What were you going to say? What would you have said if the operator answered and said, "Congratulations, you're the third call"?
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
What's your name, ma'am?
Betsy Kling.
Yeah, I don't think you're eligible. Matt, look at Matt. He's ready to do the weather.
Yeah, we already have a winner. Guys, did you wire this contest through my cell phone again?
Yeah, no.
Jeez, it's
We
blowing
gave out
up.
They're calling you.
We already have a winner. Yeah, leave me alone. Unbelievable. We got to think about that in advance.
We tried. We wanted to just make your cell phone blow up.
Yeah, that's it. I have unlimited data. It's fine. Anyway, weather-wise, great for that weekend getaway with your sweetheart, because we've got a chilly weekend coming up, as you'll see here in the forecast. But you know how spring goes around here. You just never know what you're going to get in northern Ohio. Your Channel 3 weather team has a pretty good idea, but we might as well just spin the wheel once again and see what tomorrow's forecast is dealing with. Are we going to have a sandstorm, a monsoon, or 49 degrees, not too bad. It's going to be pretty seasonable tomorrow. Just missed the ice storm off to the west, as you see there. And we've got a seasonable day tomorrow, but we are back up in the temperature department as we go into your Thursday, and we're back down today. You saw that cold front go through earlier today with some heavier rainfall. We've got 30s off to the north. Look at Ashtabula County right now, sitting in the mid-30s after a 55-degree start. That wind continues to pile out of the north, anywhere from 15 to 20-mile-per-hour gusts being reported. And visibility, we've been keeping an eye on it. It's kind of murky outside, especially down to the south, but we are bringing drier air in here. That's the good news. And cooler air. You notice the cooler air sinking across the lakes right now, but it's still pretty mild down to our south. Already seeing some of that warmth rebuilding off to the west. This is what's en route to northeast Ohio as we go into your Thursday, but we've got kind of in between day to expect tomorrow. System now heading off to the east. You can see some of the clouds lingering. That clearing now approaching areas near London, Ontario, heading over the lake. We should clear out here tonight. Should see some sunshine to see that almost full moon. You can see off to the west, this is our next system that'll float in tomorrow with some clouds, maybe a sprinkle. Doesn't look like much of consequence. So let's go hour by hour through your forecast. There's the clearing skies as we go throughout the overnight. Tomorrow morning, this is what you're waking up to. Temperatures near 30, so a chilly start. We'll see increasing clouds from the west. I do expect some sunshine, especially early tomorrow, but the clouds will fill in. Spritz and sprinkles here and there throughout the afternoon, making it up into the upper 40s, but then we start to warm up. System to watch this weekend, worth watching. You can see as we go through time, we'll see some snow developing on the northern end of a low. We'll have to keep an eye on the track of this, but just a reminder that maybe winter's not quite over yet, as we may have some flakes flying Saturday and Sunday. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. Look at the temperature swings up to 62 on Thursday, some early sun. Rain arrives Friday. We're back down for the weekend with that snow chance, and then another warm up looking pretty healthy next week. That warm up is. We'll continue to keep an eye on that. Jay, Betsy?
Awesome. Thank you. And congratulations to Karen from Fairview Park. She's our winner.
Enjoy it. Sorry, Betsy. Maybe next
nice
time.
When we have that immediate response.
Okay, next we have some high-tech and low-tech ways to make sure that our gadgets aren't actually a petri dish in our pocket.
Ew, and later, the cutest moment you are going to see today.
Oh, this is great.
It's on a wrestling mat in Summit County.
This
oh my
is
gosh.
so good.
What's new is back in 2.5 minutes. Go,
Is it something I said? Hello, Mom. Can you hear me? Oh, wait. Of course, you can't answer that.
Hi, Jay's mom.
Hi, Mama.
We're all waving at you and saying hello. Everybody all together. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. There you go.
Ooh, dangerously close. We do it every Tuesday here on What's New. It's Tech Tuesday, and Brandon Simmons is our guy, and he's here basically to tell us how we keep all of our devices germ-free, if that's possible.
I'm cleaning because this thing is probably really gross.
I did see some nacho cheese in between the letters there.
Yeah.
Oh, right
Might wanna
between the
get that
W and
out.
the E.
Yeah.
Right there. Got to get it.
That's disgusting. So what do we do? How do we keep everything that we communicate with clean?
There's always some cool technology you can use, right? So one thing out there that's popular though, UV lights. A lot of people think there are these devices that you can use to clean your devices, and we tried out a couple of them. I want to show you some video of them. One of them is called the Germ Reaper, and the other one is Germ Eyes. So we put them to the test. We actually had some lab scientists kind of help us out with that progress. We went through the process of swabbing a couple items and going through, and then we tested them both before and after using the UV light to see what the results were on getting rid of those germs that are on there. So first of all, what do you think happened?
Well, I have one of those phone bakers.
Oh, you
I
have
hope it works. I would think it says it kills 99%.
Well, these are just the wands. So you're saying 99. What do you think?
I'm saying no dice. I bet maybe 40%.
And Jay, you say you think it works, right?
Well, I don't know about that. I believe what I have works because it gives me peace of mind.
I got you. Well, in this case, it doesn't work.
Really?
So that's a problem. These wands, they don't work because they're not in an enclosed case. Now, there is another product, as you mentioned, one that encloses the phone. So in this video, you'll look at, it's called phone soap. Now, this is a better device. Yep. Is that the one you have?
That's the one I have.
Gotcha. So yeah, when you close up your phone in there, this one works better because it's fully enclosed and the light reflects all the way around your phone. You lock it in there for 10 minutes. And the results were very good on this one. When they showed the before and after, you'll see in the Petri dishes here that you'll actually see there was a lot less bacteria in those after dishes. So that's a good thing that this device appears to work.
But was it 99%?
Yeah, there you go. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yes, they do a pretty good job of getting rid of all of the different things that are on your phone. So
All
our
right,
phones are nasty. That's proof, right?
I know they are.
Yeah. And earlier last week, I know we talked about other ways you can clean your phone too. Of course, we got some more conventional methods. We're talking alcohol wipes. And then last week, we told you not to use Clorox wipes, right?
Right,
I do
because
it
it
all
could
the time.
deactivate the thumbprint.
I know, it messes up a lot of things. But Apple came out and they changed it. They said Clorox wipes are okay.
Oh, psych.
So yeah, psych, that's a good thing. So they're saying you can use Clorox wipes, you can use alcohol, but still stay away from sprays. You don't want to directly spray Lysol or any other liquid right onto your phone because you never know how that's going to affect all of the electronics in there. But yeah, if you got that phone soap or if you're going Clorox or alcohol, you're in good shape. And now those devices we talked about earlier, we didn't test them specifically on coronavirus, but with other viruses. So we do want people to know, you know, exactly how these things work. So there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Sure thing. You keep
Useful
cleaning there, Betsy.
I know. This,
you missed a spot.
I'm going to have to go through
sure.
a whole bunch of different stuff. All right, well, we have an adorable moment of levity coming your way by way of a local youngster and a little wrestling fun.
So.
Well, it's time now for some video worth the watch.
This is so good. Today, we take you to Coventry Township. That's in Summit County. Check out these two little kids. They're all set for their big wrestling match. And watch little guy in blue. Watch this.
See
nope.
ya.
I want nothing to do with this.
I'm out of here.
And I love the other guys. Like, was it something I said? So he runs and gets some bets and brings him back.
Yeah.
And then the ref says, let's wrestle.
Look at him go. Look
Neither
at the
one of them is
dancing.
quite sure what to do.
Like, okay.
I think this is just adorable.
I think that's fantastic.
I got nothing against that guy.
Right?
Why do I want to wrestle him?
They're like, let's be friends. I
It's
love
just
the dance
so good.
moves.
Yeah.
You can learn some of those moves, Jay.
That's so good. Sometimes you are too young to participate in sports.
Yeah.
And that might be a perfect example
That's
right
probably
there.
like the Pee-wee thing. It's more for the parents than
I think it is. I think you're absolutely
And now
right.
we get to enjoy it too. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us today for What's New.
We're back tomorrow at 5. What Matters Most with Russ and Sarah starts right now.
Bernie and Biden pulled the plug. We're following breaking news from the campaign trail as both candidates cancel tonight's Cleveland rallies. Crowd control, Governor DeWine recommends universities cancel in-person classes and that sporting events go on without crowds. Which colleges are going online only and what all of this means for your health and safety. And the community impact. Cleveland's Jewish community takes action to stay safe after a confirmed coronavirus case. And rooted in reading, how a library will soon transform the University Circle area.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
We begin with breaking news on the coronavirus front. Within the last hour and a half, both Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden canceled political rallies that were set to be held in Cleveland tonight. The New York Times reports these are the first major campaign events canceled because of coronavirus concerns.
In the meantime, more than 800 cases of COVID-19 are being reported nationwide.